Hello everyone. The purpose of this screencast is to sort of help people get more accustomed to the connections here and what we're trying to do with Juxta and MelCat. I do recommend that you have both Juxta and MelCat up when you're working on the poems. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into to MelCat here. I'm sorry, to Juxta first. I clicked my sign in button up here and it already remembers me and has me sort of saved. If you don't have access to this yet, email either Tony McGowan or Tim Marr, and they'll send you the Battle Pieces History Group Guidelines PDF. In that PDF, it goes through sort of how to get access to both Juxta and MelCat, and whom to email for that. I'm going to go ahead and sign into MelCat as well here. Okay, now I'm in both. I'm going to come to Juxta first, and I'm going to click on the Battle Pieces group project in the middle. And I'm going to come down here, and you'll notice on the right-hand side for the status, it says for these poems that they're ready. And all that means is that they're available to be checked out and worked on. But you'll notice down here for Stonewall Jackson, for the status, this one says checked out by Marr. And that's, of course, Tim, and Tim's working on that poem now. So if I wanted to work on this poem right now as well, I can't do so currently. So one of the things that I'm going to sort of suggest is everyone get in the habit of, when you're finished with working on your poem for a session, when you're in a group, to go ahead and check the poem back in so that people in your group can check it out and work on it as well. Okay? So I'm going to come down here to number 36, A Dirge for McPherson, and I'm going to go ahead and check that poem out for the purpose of this screencast. So I hit the checkout button. It now says checked out by J. Mets Rule. That's me, Joe. I'm a Mets fan. Go Mets. And now I'm going to come over here to the left and click on the poem itself. Okay, and here's our poem. Don't worry too much about the indentation issues. There are things going on in the background. People are working on code in order to help us sort of indent, make the proper indentations and whatnot. If you do see a word that's misspelled, or a punctuation mark that's not right, you can go ahead and fix that right here actually. So the first thing that we're going to do is since we're tagging people, places, and events, I think probably the easiest one to tag right here is McPherson himself. So I'm going to double click McPherson, and that's going to highlight it in blue. Then I'm going to come over here and click the transcription drop down button, and I'm going to click on annotation, and I'm going to tag McPherson by clicking on person here while he's still highlighted. And if McPherson is in our Mel catalog, I can click this link right here, and he should pop right up. Now notice it automatically populated the search bar at the top, but there's no McPherson here. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to delete this just for now, and I'm going to come up here to MelCat, and I'm going to click on people. All right, and I'm going to look down here, just take a quick look. I don't see McPherson anywhere, so let's go ahead and add him. Now, one of the first things that you want to do is to come into MelCat and start getting acquainted with these sections here, these little information bars, because you want to come in with this information already in hand for when you're going to go ahead and put in a new MelCat reference. For the sake of time and for this screencast, I'm not going to go ahead and fill out all of these. I'm just going to fill out a couple here. So the person of type, of course, well, he's real. For the authoritative name, this is actually the name and how it's going to show up on that list that we just saw on the previous page. So I'm going to go ahead and click none here because I want to open up a new box. And I'm going to put his last name first. McPherson, comma, James Birdseye. The next thing I'm going to do is come over here to the right and click this little tiny plus sign. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. So you got to click it once, and then it'll come up in this new box that's sort of powdered blue. You want to leave that alone now and move on to the display name. And for the display name, I'm just going to put in James Birdseye McPherson. I'm going to skip surname, forename, alternate name, occupations. Again, you do want that information, all this information, but I'm going to put in his birth date right now, which is November 14th, 1828. Okay, and the day of his death, that's 1864, July 22nd. And the only reason why this already showed up as populated is because I've been practicing this screencast. This is probably the 8th time I've done it. Hopefully this time will be the best. Affiliations, you want to have all this information. Cultural context, of course, is important. Descriptions and whatnot. You can also put see also here, which is actually quite interesting. If you hit the plus sign here, you could put in a URL. Let's say there's a really good page somewhere on McPherson. You can actually connect a URL right here. For the bottom here, for images, I do have an image. I click that, and I have a McPherson image right here on my desktop. I'm going to put that in. We do want to be careful about copyright issues, and this is something that we're currently discussing. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I would say for while you're practicing, go ahead and put in a Google image that you've saved, just so you can kind of practice with it. And now I'm going to hit save at the bottom, and if I did everything correctly, it's going to say at the top, person was successfully created, and it does. So congratulations, we now have James Birdeye McPherson right here. I'm going to come back to Juxta, and now I'm going to double click McPherson, and I'm going to come back to person and click that. Now when I click the MelCat link here, there he is. I'm going to click that once, and now it's officially connected into MelCat. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to come over here and do it again. Click person, the MelCat link, and done. I'm going to do this here, person, MelCat link, click McPherson, done, and I think there's one more instance here. Person, click on the MelCat link, click on McPherson, and done. Congratulations, you just tagged McPherson. The nice thing about this, and the reason why you want to do your MelCatting very deliberately here, in the beginning especially, is because now, if McPherson shows up anywhere else in Battle Pieces, we can just click on his name and automatically connect him to that MelCat reference we already made. So the more we do in the beginning with the Mel catalog, the easier this whole thing becomes. Okay, I'm going to come over here and click Save. Document saved. Now I'm going to come back over here because I'm finished for right now. I'm going to click Battle Pieces again. And that's going to bring me back to the list with the poems. There we go, and here's my poem. And now I'm going to go ahead and check this back in, just in case anybody in my group wants to work on it. So I'm going to click the check-in button. Alright, and it's showing that it's ready to go. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So good luck, and let's get going.